Added to that is the benefit of the big fall seen in crude. So the operating costs, obviously, for auto companies are set to come down, which is likely to be a big positive, for, especially for the MNHCV segment, and this is the big trucks that we're talking about. Also, the big boost for margins is seen as input costs come off and cool off. And mind you, the cost benefits that have accrued to the companies have not been passed on yet. So we're talking of a retention of the major chunk of the benefit that is being experienced by the companies. Synchronous to this, look at the stock returns. If you look at the index, the auto index is up 5% over the last 1 month. And as far as certain auto ancillary names go and certain tier 2 auto names are concerned, we're looking at names like Bosch, Bharat Forge, Eicher, which have returned 20% over the last month. Moving on to the lubricant space, fallen crude prices obviously should result in a lower base oil price for the first quarter of calendar 15 is what analysts are factoring in going forward. And base oil, mind you, is one of the core raw material components that goes into lubricant manufacturing. Analysts expect a fall in the base oil price to contribute to margin expansion materially going forward. And again, as is the case with autos, not all the raw material costs are likely or will be passed on to the consumers. So we are again talking about a retention of the kind of cost benefits that are accruing to even these lubricant companies. And there's another thing which is important to remember here, that these lubricant companies undertook price hikes in the third quarter of calendar 14 owing to higher raw material costs. So this obviously coming in as a relief and kind of offsetting that burden that was felt in the third quarter of calendar 14. Talk about stock returns, we're looking at Gulf Oil, which has returned almost 50% of its value over the last 1 month itself, and a company like Castrol returning almost 25% of equity value. Back to you.
All right, Pranay, thanks for getting us all those updates. That's all the time we have on this episode of Market Pulse. Stay tuned. In Business is coming up next.